So I started with the OWASP top 10. So the goal here is awareness, and obviously there's a lot of awareness about OWASP top 10. So, and I think the general security principles in 80% of the cases of the web applications apply directly or indirectly to web services. So I wanted to basically build upon, okay, if I know what input validation looks like in a web app, here's what it looks like in web services. I know what broken authentication means in a web app, session cookies or what have you, here's what it looks like in web services. So the two that are not there are basically around cross-site scripting and CSRF, which you could also look at web services as a vector of that, but I think the two issues that we added in, broken XML and misuse of identity, are particularly important in web services, so that's where that came in. And again, this is draft, so people can feel free to throw their own hat into the ring on this stuff. I think there actually are some tools that can do some of this. In the document, we actually highlighted where we think either automated approaches like static analysis or other tools could help solve some of these issues or find them, and where manual approaches are more useful. So we definitely want to highlight things that we think can resolve them. And again, the idea is to actually make it easier to build secure software. We're not just harping on vulnerabilities for vulnerability's sake. So that was on the list, and what we talked about it was in the context of broken XML. So if you want to read through the section and see if you think it deserves, first-class citizenship or what have you, that's definitely a fair point. Exactly. So I think one of the things that is an issue based on that is that we have a hard separation between authentication and authorization, depending on how you look at it, and it makes it easier potentially for input validation to bypass some of the authorization schemes. So some of the things that actually Jeremiah Grossman talked about in his first talk yesterday, web services is a perfect candidate for all of those things. Yeah, that is a good question. So I mean, I think part of it comes down to is what's the transaction that you're running. The other thing is, again, the access control model is a claims-based access control model. So you'd want to treat those claims differently depending where they came from and who vouched for them and how well protected they were when they were transiting. So I don't have like a little checkbox answer on that one, unfortunately. But maybe that'll be the number 11. But I don't think so. Any other questions? Okay, thanks everybody for your time.